A layout is a document separate from your plan file that acts as a collection of 2D and 3D views arranged for printing. They are also commonly known as blueprints. In this video, we'll go over how to create a layout, how to send and edit views, how to add text, how to modify the template page, and how to print. First, to create a layout document, I'll go to the File menu in the top left and click New Layout. Then I'll save the layout in the same directory as the plan file it will be referencing. Layouts come with 5 pages, and we can change the page we're on by clicking the Page Up and Page Down buttons on the top toolbar. I can also do this by going to the Tools menu at the top of the program, going to Layout, and clicking Page Up or Page Down. Next, I'll go to File, Print, Drawing Sheet Setup. Here, I can specify the settings of the drawing sheet, like its orientation and size. In this example, I'll change the size from ArcC to tabloid, and click OK. Note that the white drawing sheet shrinks down, while the border and title blocks remain the same size, as they were initially drawn to fit on the ArcC size. This affects all 5 pages of the layout. If I want to use a paper size besides ArcC, we can go to page 0 and rearrange the items that make up the border to fit. We'll go over the template page in more depth later in the video. If I return to Drawing Sheet Setup and uncheck Show Drawing Sheet in View, we won't see the paper size anymore. I'll keep that setting checked on and return my paper size to ArcC. The drawing sheet sets up the orientation, paper size, and margins we're fitting the scaled down views of our plan, elevations, and cameras into. So we'll typically want to set our printer settings to match the drawing sheet here. Since this is a layout, the drawing scale should be left as 1 inch equals 1 inch. We'll be scaling our views sent from the plan, so we don't want to further scale the layout. If Remember Print Settings after printing is checked, the last printer used will be selected and its settings applied. If you always use the same printer in printer settings, you'll want to keep this checked. If I uncheck it, I can choose a printer from the ones available. If I click the Choose button here, I can modify some of the default print settings. If I switch it to Chief Architect Save as PDF, Home Designer will produce a PDF file that matches the orientation and paper size of the drawing sheet. However, I'll choose this printer for now. Back in Drawing Sheet Setup, the advanced line weight options provide baseline control of the line thickness in the layout and shows based on the current value what different lines will appear like when printed. You can find out more about line weights by clicking Help. Typically, this setting is an industry standard benchmark and shouldn't be changed. Instead, you'll want to change the line weights layer by layer back in the plan file. I'll accept these settings by clicking OK and save the layout file. After setting up the drawing sheet in the printer info, I'm ready to send views to the layout and scale them to fit properly on my paper. I'll switch back to my floor plan and send this view to my layout. Select File and click Send to Layout. I want this view to appear on my layout at 1/8 inch equals 1 foot, so I'll set the scale here. I'll also choose what page I want to send it to. If I choose page 2 and click OK, I'll be sent to our layout, and we can see it got sent to page 2, reduced in scale to fit on the drawing sheet. If it's not at the desired scale, I can select and delete the view, and send it from the plan file again at a different scale. For now, though, I'll just move it to the side. You can resize the layout box border that appears when clicking on the view. Drag the handle to expose or cover parts of the view. Covered portions of your plan won't print. You can use the corner edit handles to angularly reshape it. You can also use the break tool to add new corners and reshape it as needed. You can display all the layout box borders by going to Tools, then Display Options. They will print as well if you leave this layer on while going to print. I'll switch back to floor plan view, and then I'll create a perspective camera by going to the 3D menu, create perspective view, and click Perspective Full Overview. Then click the Send to Layout button. I'll choose the send option I want to send current screen as image, and I'll send it to page 2. Then I can select it and proportionally resize it by dragging the corner edit handle. We can also easily add text. Go to the CAD menu at the top of the program, go to Text and click Rich Text, and then click in your layout to place a text box. Type the word image. Select the text and set the height to 1/2 inch, and click OK. The floor plan view already has an automatically generated label. You can toggle the visibility of these by toggling on or off the layout box labels layer in the display options. We call page 0 of the layout the template page. This page acts as a template for all 5 subsequent pages, meaning anything visible on page 0 appears and cannot be selected on the following pages. So, we'll want to add anything to page 0 that we want to see for every following page. For example, we can add a drawings provided by name on page 0, since that might be something we'll want to see on every page. First, we'll go to page 1 and delete the text box that says designer. Then, back on page 0, add a new text box. For the sake of the example, I'll write Chief Architect. Highlight the text and set it to 1/4 inch, and then set the alignment to align center and click OK. Then rotate it so it fits. We can do the same with imported images. On page 0, I'll go to the File menu, down to Import, and click Import Picture. I'll choose a logo and click Open in the lower right. Now I can use the corner edit handle to scale it down, and then I'll move it into the top right corner of my title block. As we can see, all of these items now appear on every page. When I'm ready to print my layout, I'll go to the File menu, down to Print, and click Print. Here in Print Layout, we can review and change some of the settings. For example, if I switch to letter-sized paper, it will generate a new preview and inform us the drawing sheet is larger than the paper size, which causes it to break down the larger size document onto separate pieces of paper. We can also change the drawing scale. For example, I can choose Fit to Paper, and Home Designer will generate a new preview, scaling down the drawing sheet to fit onto whatever paper we've set up. We can also try a check plot. After the preview is generated, we can see that a half-scale check plot will fit onto one piece of paper. In the print range, we can specify which pages we want printed. For example, if we type in 1-3, 5, that means it prints those pages and will ignore page 4. Then I can click Print to send this to my printer. If your chosen destination is PDF and you want to save it at full scale, click Save as PDF.